Good evening, and welcome. I should have said ho, 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 and welcome to the Caring View, the online health and social care platform free to access to absolutely everybody. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like, hit that subscribe, follow us on our platforms, yada, yada, yada. We are free, completely free. Everything we do is always going to be free. And we were never going to charge you a penny. And the only reason we can do that is we have some fabulous sponsors that keep the lights here on at the Caring View. So without further ado, last time this year, we will roll through our sponsors. So we have Prosperwell, the UK's leading digital marketing agency, www.prosperwell.co.uk. We've got CBAT, Care Business Associates training for all of your healthcare requirements, training-wise, CHAPS, clinical, non-clinical, high performance leadership, trainer, get in touch with them. We've got Attis Care by Attis Insurance Brokers, the comprehensive care and proactive risk management people that you need in your lives. They're also a helpful voice on the end of the line, so do give them a call. If you're just looking at changing or starting on your digital social care journey, do check out Log My Care. They have a free version that you can use, and it is loved by complex care providers all around the country. We've got Health Automated Online and LearningMint Online, all Jack White's brainchild, AI-powered, AI-driven softwares for care planning and for training. Jack AI is also powering our website, www.thecaringview.co.uk. We have got Florence, directly connecting healthcare professionals and organizations with shifts in training around the country. Great alternative to agency, and a fabulous training platform as well. And we also have, but I can't find her for some reason at this moment. Mark, you may have to help me. She's gone.
No, cool.
Every Step Care Consultancy. We'll get the website up at some point, but Every Step Care Consultancy, providing you turnaround advice and also anything that you might need to do to get out of the rut of a bad or a poor CQC rating. So please do go check out Every Step Care Consultancy. All of our sponsors can be found on our website. Oh, Mark, good evening. How are you?
Yes, not too bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad last week wasn't our last show. I'm glad we're doing a reflections. We've come a long way. Do you remember the Christmas show we did, 3 years ago? Was it 4 years ago, where we had York from Five on a Bike and he was wearing a sort of busty little number for us?
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. That must have been, was that no, that wasn't last year, I don't think, was it? Maybe it was. I don't know. Time flies.
No, the year before last year, it was we went live, remember? But we didn't go live. And we did the first it's offline. Nobody could go live. Yeah. My days.
So you all ready for Christmas?
No, I've not even thought about Christmas. What's Christmas? Christmas Hugh. Yeah, I am. I mean, for those who don't celebrate Christmas, I apologize. I love it gratuitously. It's one of my favorite times of the year. I adore it. I've got 6 Christmas trees up at the minute. All my presents are wrapped. My Christmas crackers are made. My Christmas menu is planned. My Christmas menu is tested. I've done a run through of that. I am, for better, I am set. I am set. I early finished Christmas Eve this year for me, and then I am on it. I'm hosting Christmas Eve and Christmas Day this year, so yeah, it's going to be spectacular. Hopefully, we don't have kids, so I can't imagine what it's like with children. But for me, Christmas is about family. It's about being close. It's about being together. So I've got matching pajamas Christmas Day this year. I've got my stepsister staying over, sister-in-law staying over with her partner. So it's going to be fabulous. I'm really looking forward to it. What about yourself?
Yeah, no, I think the same as you. Christmas is all about family and spending it together. So yeah, we are. What am I doing? We'll do the normal. We'll go to my in-laws for breakfast. We'll open some presents, have lunch there, and then instead of going to my parents this year, we're going to my brothers and meeting my parents there. So I get out of cooking again. So I've done it twice in a row, and I vowed never to do it again. And if I do it again, I won't be cooking and put myself through that stress. Unlike you, I don't like cooking, so.
So what's Christmas dinner looking like for you?
What's that? What's Christmas dinner looking like?
What
well, I don't know, my brother. What's that?
What? You're cutting out, Mark. This isn't boding well. What meat do you have Christmas Day? What's your go-to?
Well, do you know, I'm not a big fan of a Christmas dinner. I know that's controversial. My worst two meals ever are a roast dinner and a barbecue.
Wow.
Like the most popular two meals for most people, but yeah, my least favorite. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, you end up eating so much, don't you?
Yeah.
I try and just stick to like a bit of turkey, veg. That's it. Try and cut the carbs.
We're having a five-course Christmas Day at my house this year. Turkey and goose as well. I'm a traditionalist. I like goose because people are like, "Oh, tradition's turkey," and I'm like, "Go read a Christmas Carol." Because how big is that goose in the window? Is it still available? Go and get it for me. No, I'm a goose and turkey sort of guy. So I don't really like turkey, or I didn't like turkey until I got a sous vide machine. So now I water bath my turkey for 6 hours at 68 degrees, and it's incredible. Like it's so tender, so moist, sliced nice and thin. Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah, it can be very dry, can't it? Depending on how you cook it.
Honestly. But yeah, no, I'm all set. And I can't believe this is I want to say our 5th Christmas on the Caring View, but it might be our 4th Christmas on the Caring View. I don't know. We've been going since 2021. So 21, 22, 23, 24. It's our 5th Christmas on the Caring View.
Christmas. I was just doing the maths on my fingers. I was like,
that is mad. Absolutely mad, man. We've been doing this 5 years.
He is crazy. It doesn't feel like 5 years though, and I can't remember. I do remember the year of York being on, and I do remember the year where we didn't go live, but I can't remember kind of pre that.
Yeah, we had some. We did one. We had one with York. We had last year's, which I can't remember what we did last year. In fact, last year I don't think we did a Christmas show. Our last show of last year was around giving up alcohol for better productivity.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a really good show to end on because it sort of gave people food for thought for the new year coming. Some people had discussed that they were going to go dry for a bit. It'd be great to know if those people have continued with staying dry throughout the year. But yeah, so it's been incredible, and this year's been no different. It's been busy for us this year, and we've had some cracking shows.
It has. I think when I kind of reflect back on the shows, and I was looking earlier today, been a hell of a lot around kind of digital technology, AI, your favorite subjects, I know. So I'm sure you've loved every moment of those. But yeah, I think there's been a real mixed balance in terms of, things that are pressurizing social care at the moment in terms of recruitment, retention, the well-being elements. Then we did some amazing shows in the beginning of the year around the sustainability factor. I think it's just been a rounded, generalized conversation of what social care really is, but the ever-changing landscape as well.
Yeah, I mean, one of my highlights this year, and I'm going to be completely frank about it because I don't know whether we're doing it next year or not. And I think the landscape of these trade shows is changing drastically year on year. One of the highlights for me, though, was when we did UK Care Week and we had that 2-day theatre because we were rammed. We had some fabulous guests with us. We had Charles Armitage, we had Sharon, we had Louis Worth join us, Paul Blaine joined us. It was incredible. Kavita joined us. It was, and we were busier than the keynote, which was incredible. Like we were busy every single day, every single session. Even our 4:00 sessions before the show finished were busy, which was unusual. Might be because we were giving out free Easter eggs and chocolate all for the 2 days. I don't know. But that was great. And it was great catching up with people. It was great seeing people again. And it has been wonderful. But when we look at the online shows, some of the stuff that I've loved this year has been the high performance leadership. Like you say, that well-being side and the well-being of our leaders. How did last week's show, for example, resonated so deeply with me. And I know resonated with a manager of mine and people who have watched it. I think this year really has been about the year of giving back to ourselves. And I think we've all sort of wisened up to that a little bit more now. We've all spoken about being numbers and actually life comes first, work comes second. And that should be the case. As much as employers might not want to hear that, it is true. And I think more people are focused this year on that sort of self-worth, self-love, self-development, whether they've been taking jabs, whether they've been meditating, whether they've been doing what, no matter how you've achieved what you wanted to achieve this year, so many people have done it. And it's been incredible to see the transformation of people around the country, reduce social media usage, more focus on the positive affirmations, removing that negativity, looking at things in that different light, problem solving in a different way, and realizing that to fix the sector, if we want to use that phrase that's been coined so many times, we actually need to fix ourselves. And the sector might not change and might not get better, but we can make it work for us and we can get to where we need to be. And I've really taken that from our shows this year. I think another one of my favorite shows was when Sharon joined us to talk about the CQC and the regulations. And we spoke a lot about the medication practices, and we discovered some really interesting stuff in that show. For example, about your homely remedies and your covert medication plans. And all of that was really interesting. And I've taken loads of notes this year and implemented what I can. And I know there's a specific manager of mine who watches us religiously. And every Wednesday, I get a phone call from the deputy manager going, "Cheers for your podcast last night, by the way." I'm like, "Why?" And she's like, "I've got like an A4 page full of notes that we now have to implement within the home." We had LifeVac on this year, the suction machines to sort of save people from choking. Since then, they've been implemented across all of our nursing homes, which for me is incredible and fantastic. It's been, I don't know, I've really, really loved it. Next year is going to be different though, and I'm looking forward to next year as well.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to next year. I think when I look back, I did really enjoy UK Care Week, and I don't think that was the only trade show where you and I were really together this year. I think you did Care Show up in Birmingham. I think, don't know where I was, somewhere. I obviously then did Care Management Show in London, but it was nice just to spend those couple of days with you. But yeah, I think that the conversations that were had there, that it's been nice watching those people that aren't normally at trade shows now going off and doing the trade shows themselves. And I think when I kind of look at the lineup of, when I looked at the lineup of the Care Management Show and the Care Show next year have announced some of their speakers, it is some of those people. And it's nice that we've kind of given them a platform and that confidence that they can go and speak in front of people about their chosen topic, which is one thing that when we very first started this, is what we wanted to achieve, is just to kind of build confidence, come on here, have a general conversation and have a chat and, do your first kind of conversational piece and then grow from there. And I think it's nice to watch. I think when I look back at some of the conversations that we've had this year, I absolutely loved having Sharon MacArthur back for the menopause. I love Sharon. So that was one of the highlights.
Oh my God, I'm mixing up Sharon and frigging Julie in my head, aren't I? Julie Garrett came around CQC and bloody medication.
Yeah.
Not Sharon MacArthur. Jesus Lord.
She'll shoot you for this.
She will. I'll be getting a text.
Both of them will. But no, I absolutely loved that. I thought the Oliver McGowan Code of Practice conversation that we only had like a month or so ago was really good. And what I loved off the back of that conversation is that obviously Paula, his mum, was in our comments and was supporting, is actually the support that's gone out to some of the providers that have reached out to her since. And I know that CBAT have done bits and pieces on podcasts with her. They're now Oliver McGowan trained, and just that kind of wider impact off the back of it. And I think one show that I didn't anticipate that I would love so much, and I think we've had them back 2 or 3 times this year, is just around tenders and bidding for. I just found that a really enjoyable conversation. But like you said, I've taken away so many notes this year in terms of for ideas and what we can implement and what we can do, and just sharing with the wider team, which is what it's all about. And yeah, I'm pleased to hear about LifeVac, such a simple tool. And I know that Ryan, who is one of the guys that quite often watches, WhatsApped me after to say that they had implemented it in their care services as well. So, which is great news.
It's been and so much. Yeah, no, it really, really has, and so much has changed. I mean, AI, is transformed, and I don't really want to give much more airtime to AI this year because, geez, it has driven me nuts. Still drives me nuts. I think it's too accessible now. It really grinds my gears. I think we need to curb usage of AI now. I think it's wonderful, but I think it's There's too much of it. I think there's too much open source, open access stuff out there. I think more needs to be done to manage about how we use it. I think more training needs to be given about using it, especially when you're using something to generatively create something. We need to understand that giving an instruction in bias creates bias. There's all of that sort of stuff that I would like us to address. But one of the other things we've spoken quite heavily about this year is the regulator. The CQC and their single assessment framework. We spent a lot of time towards the end of last year promoting the single assessment framework. It had gone live, very rocky start. I got inspected under the new framework twice now, back when it had started, since when it had changed. And I feel like next year's not going to be much different. I feel like next year there is going to be a lot of conversation around the CQC. And although we're going to go back to basics next year with how-tos and really informative sessions throughout the year, I do feel like we're going to have to dedicate some time to the CQC and the ever-changing landscape of the single assessment framework. Now, we touched upon it the other week when we were discussing the consultation, which I believe is now closed. But I'm aware that they've given us some indication of what the pared down quality statements are going to be, Mark?
They have indeed. So I've got some notes. So there could be further changes to it. At the moment, they've given us 24. 14 of them are exactly the same. There's 10 of them that are slightly tweaked. Interestingly, when I was on the provider meetings, they told us that sustainability was being split out between environmental and kind of continuity and business planning for the future. That seems to have gone completely, although they have kind of got one that's called strategic direction.
Yeah, I noticed.
So that's interesting. Yeah, they have said that they might try and dwindle them down even further. So there's still work going on. I know they had an in-person event, I want to say a couple of weeks ago. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. And then they've obviously got to take all the feedback from the consultation into account. But yeah, I think, like you say, there's definitely going to be in 2026 more emphasis kind of on that framework, what it looks like, the impact to providers. And I think one thing we've always said is obviously stick to the regulations. And I'm seeing a lot more consultants now advising care providers, managers in the groups to stick to the regulations.
Yeah, the regulations are what aren't going to change. And I think I'm sort of at the mindset now where I think we should just let CQC figure it out for themselves now and figure out where they want to go. As long as we're stuck with those regulations and we know what those regulations are. And I see a lot more managers now quote the regulations. They understand the regulations a little bit better. More people are building them into the work that they're doing. So, for example, across our services, we have the regulations built into our action plans now, so we can show what actions towards what regulation we're working towards. Our audits, we can tag with those regulations. There's a lot we're doing internally around really embedding the idea of regulations throughout our services, but more and more people are seeming to be doing that. I mean, I'm just looking at the sort of draft adult social care assessment framework. I still fully don't really understand how this is going to work, because these quality statements that they've said are going to change and look more like the Chloe's when they're completed, aren't they? So we're moving back to the ratings characteristics side of things, which I think will be interesting. I miss the ratings characteristics, makes FACACS quite good. Safety culture, so the learning one has changed, which, okay, sure. I don't know where learning is going to come into this, whether it's just going to sit under the safety culture, because I think learning is a huge, important part. It's going to be interesting to see once they've finalized what these are going to be, what the nitty gritty is underneath them, because one of our biggest complaints of the current quality statements is they're too similar. Like the expectations underneath them are very similar to each other. I think I'm happy person-centered care has moved over to caring. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense there. Yeah,
I do think that makes sense. Caring is quite thin on the ground. Only 3 quality statements under caring. I think it's currently 5, isn't it? So we've knocked 2 off there. Yeah, going to be interesting year for the CQC, and I think, again, change of leadership. Have they announced? I'm really out the loop. Have they announced who's taken over from Julian Hartley yet?
They've announced. I can't remember their name. They have announced an interim while they recruit into the role. But I think what'll be interesting is, and I think you touched on it a minute ago about just leaving CQC to kind of get on with it. I think there's been a freedom of information that was done by, I've got it here, Pannone Corporate, which has found the number of inspections are way down. So kind of 23,000 in 2016. In November, so literally a month ago, only 4,500 inspections had actually been completed. So completely down less than kind of what it was pandemic, which is shocking, really, when you think that like the number of services that were shut for that whole year and a bit. But yeah, and then I saw yesterday that there is a law firm or a solicitors are now inquiring about the local authority assessments, given that none of them have been, or only one I think has been given, inadequate or requires improvement.
Well,
there's been.
Can I tell you about that? That's my local authority.
It's Lancashire, isn't it?
Blackpool.
Oh, Blackpool.
Blackpool Council, Blackpool Adult Social Care. First local authority to be rated inadequate by the CQC.
But what this law firm is saying, well, what the law firm is saying is that they all should, because when you look at the actual their own framework, it talks about no delays, and actually all of them have got delays around the Care Act assessment. All of them have got delays in terms of assessing people's needs and putting in that. So actually, where are they getting that from? So it'll be interesting to see kind of that side from the local authority picture in terms of what happens. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting 2026 when this framework rolls out to all the different ones.
And obviously next year is going to bring some additional woes to providers. I don't want to finish on a low, so we'll get it out now and then we can continue with some positive stuff. But national living wage is increasing drastically again next year. The fair pay consultation is still live, I think, until the 11th of January, 13th of January? One of those. It's in January though, so please do feedback into that. I think that's really important. It's a lengthy one, but it's a good one to get your voices heard, and that's going to bring additional pressures to providers around the country. We're aware of this, and we're all going to want to continue achieving. We're all going to want to continue getting better, but financially, how are we going to do that? There are people that you can talk to. There's previous shows that we've done in which you can achieve for less. Maybe it's something we can have a look at in the new year if it's becoming a problem for providers. How do we address it? Providers are closing around the country. Leicester's seen the closure of a number of providers, but then we're seeing these new big homes still being built and being put up. And it just feels like we're going backwards a little bit, back into these big institutionalized buildings rather than smaller self-contained settings. Whether they will succeed and thrive throughout the new year is yet to be seen. There's one being built close to us, due to open in spring. Huge building. How they're going to staff it, I don't know. How they're going to fill it, I don't know. But that's going to be an interesting watch. And then potentially we've got the new laws, the new employment laws coming in, which is going to affect how we recruit and what people's employment rights are from day one, etc. So a good number of changes will be coming through next year. Yes, I'm excited for next year, though. I am excited for next year.
I am excited. I think anybody that is thinking about kind of those changes with national minimum wage, if you're in London, the London living wage has gone up by 6.9%, or it will go up by 6.9%. You need to start having those conversations with your local authorities now. Okay, maybe get Christmas out of the way, but start in the new year. Like, don't wait until kind of March time to start having those conversations. Like, we've already started having them with our local authorities, with the contracts that we've got, in terms of, the ones that are in London. Actually, we want to pass on. We need to pass on that 6.9% to the staff. This is what we're going to need, X, Y, Z, and start, because then they can start planning as well. And they're doing their budgets at the moment. Day one rights has been scrapped, so it's now changed to, I think, 3 months. What do they get at the moment? A year? No, 6. I don't know, but I think it's changed to 3 months now. But yeah, the day one rights is gone, so that'll be a bit reassuring for some people.
That the day. So this 3 months, I'm gonna have to look into this because I've not really been following it. If I'm completely honest, I've been mad busy this sort of last quarter of the year. The day one rights was going to be that you couldn't sack someone from day one without reason, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, so I think there's still some of it. So if you want to make a flexible working request on day one, you still can. But I think, yeah, if you feel that unfair dismissal, that isn't going to be a day one right.
So, yeah, that is going to be reassuring. So expected in April 2026, paternity leave now a day one right. Unpaid paternity leave also becomes a day one right. Unfair dismissal, the day one right was dropped. It will now require a 6-month qualifying period effective from January 2027. That's still short, though. I mean, great for employees because it's 2 years at the moment, isn't it? So great for employees. 6 months, though, is still quite short. And we've
6 months to me sounds right, though, because like most probation periods are 6 months. So if you don't cut it, it does seem to tie in quite well with like a standard probation period.
Yeah. That will be interesting, though. So I think we all need to start getting prepared for that. Flexible working, employers must give reasonable grounds for refusal, and it's been strengthened, but that is due for 2027. Bereavement leave coming in 2027, a new right to unpaid leave for loss of a loved one, protection for pregnant workers, new protections against dismissal for mothers returning from leave, and again, that's expected in 2027. So some big changes coming then employment law-wise. Best start scrubbing up, best start getting our knowledge hats on and getting ourselves ready. I mean, some of it's coming April, so like if you're not ready now, get ready.
Yeah, it's only around the corner, really.
Yeah, definitely. So, Mark, what are we doing next year? What's our plan for next year?
Yeah, so I think we had some really good conversations this year, and I don't have my screen open, but from memory, like the conversations around like effective supervision, how to like cope with difficult conversations, like what I would call like a soft.
Oh, sorry.
Go on.
One more change that we need to be aware of.
Yeah.
Because I'm multitasking. Statutory sick pay will be paid from the first day of illness instead of the 4th day.
Oh yeah, I did know that.
So yeah, another one. Sorry, carry on.
No, that's all right. Although luckily that won't be providers paying that. That'll come from obviously wherever it comes from.
And the lower earnings limits being removed as well. So there'll be no lower earning limits on being able to qualify for SSP.
But yeah, no, going back, or as I said, yeah, the conversations that we've had around like effective supervision, like difficult conversations, we had, can't remember their names for the life of me, but just around like upskilling the next generation of managers. Like they've all been really good conversations with so many kind of actionable points and people that have reached out to us after that kind of got us thinking about actually what do we want to do next year. And I think we've had similar conversations that we've had this year for the last kind of 4 or 5 years in terms of the recruitment, the retention, all the things that happen within social care. And I thought next year, why don't we go back to kind of those basics in terms of, we know that we had a flurry of registered managers with vast amounts of experience leave the sector or go into other roles. We had a new influx of registered managers. I think we've seen some of those leave with the framework and the CQC changes. We've still got some of them that are, wondering what to do. And I think in those manager groups, still a lot of them struggling, and actually just having those basic conversations in terms of those soft skills that you need is what we're going to focus kind of on next year. Because I think they'll be well received. I think all of us can, do with a refresher in terms of, bits and pieces have changed. Leadership's changed. I think, used to be leadership and management. And I feel like the majority of organizations now are way in the leadership camp as opposed to in that management camp. Yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
For me, for the new year, I think for the new year, for the Caring View, what I want us to achieve is I want us to get to a point where we're supporting those. We've spoken. My thoughts aren't collating in my head. We've spoken for years about how people become managers within social care, either by accident or through forced promotion. Oh, you're amazing. You'll do fabulous. You're going to be brilliant. Wonderful. And actually, they get there and they feel like a duck out of water or a fish out of water, whatever the saying is. And they're like, I don't know what to do. Like, I need to submit a notification. Well, I don't know what notification. Or, I need to do, I don't really know what I'm doing here. I need to do disciplinary. Never done one in my life. Never done one in my life. I want us to be for those managers next year. We've got so many people who join us every single week who already know a lot of this stuff and are joining us for the new conversations. And I want those people to join us through the journey next year, but I want them to join us on here next year to support and guide and grow the managers out there who might not know this stuff. I want the Caring View next year to really be that informative tool that people can't go without every other week, to go, well, actually, I don't know how to do a CQC notification or what form is for what and how I fill it out. Oh, wait, no, there's a show on that. I'll go watch it and I'll support myself. Actually, I need my nurses to be able to do this as well, so I'll put my nurses on this show. I want it to be accessible really for everyone next year. Yes, a lot of the shows we have are accessible to everyone and anyone can watch them to upskill themselves, but they are quite niche, some of them, and they are quite bespoke for certain roles. But I really want us to be for all the sector next year to really grow those managers and give them the support that they might not get necessarily elsewhere for free. And I think it'll be fab. So if you do want any conversation, please join us because we'd be more than happy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think we're kind of planning that kind of next year out at the moment. So if there are conversations that you want us to have or you want to join us for, then yeah, do let us know. And I kind of think, when I think about like when we set up the Caring View, and I always say that I generally don't remember when we went kind of from those ad hoc conversations with Rights for Residents into doing it every week. But it was all around kind of that upskilling, that education, that kind of bringing registered managers together. And I feel like next year is going to kind of, it's almost like a full circle of kind of where we started and kind of the birth of the Caring View. It'll be like the 6th year anniversary.
Yes, definitely. Tina's just totally thrown me. Tina's put in the chat. Sorry, Tina. Trish has put in the chat. Due to the proposed forthcoming changes, can you put dolls on the 2026 agenda? Do you know what? I completely forgot Liberty Protection Safeguards was a thing. Weren't they like suggesting that back in 2014 or something stupid? And they've been doing tons of work on it to sort of get it off the ground. And we're now 12 years later next year. But yes, definitely, Trish. Consultation will be launching for that, I think, springtime in 2026 on the LPS, not the dolls. It will be on Liberty Protection Safeguards. Again, great piece of work. Great idea if they can get it off the ground and get it working. Will come with setbacks, will come with problems, but I think will be fabulous if they get it off the ground, especially for people living in the homes, in communities, hugely beneficial. So we will add the dolls consultation into LPS onto the agenda for 2026. We'll make sure that we keep an eye out for that consultation launching as well, and we will get that shared out to everybody. We're going fortnightly next year, Mark?
Well, we haven't confirmed that. I don't know what to do. Do you want to do fortnightly? Well, no. I was just reaching for my notepad with my to-do. I'll add dolls to it while I'm here. I do have about MCA on my list. And if Tina, if you are still watching, Tina Welford, your name is against the MCA one.
You're inviting her on.
I haven't. I always said I would, and I've never got around to messaging just because I haven't. 2026 in my head is just so far away, but yeah, it's literally right here. MCA Tina Welford.
And to be fair though, I love the show we did with Tina this year. I think Tina's fabulous, and Tina watches pretty much every single week as well. So yeah, it would be great to get Tina back on next year. Now we always discuss, don't we, whether weekly is still sustainable or not, whether we've got enough to talk about every single week. And although we've dropped a few weeks this year due to health concerns from either myself or from you, Mark, because we've you more than me have been through the ringer this year. We've had a lot going on. Is weekly still sustainable for us? We still get really good numbers every single week, which is fantastic and it's exciting. And I think we try and plan out a fortnightly year, and then we go, but we need to do a show on this. Well, we'll do one that week then when we're not supposed to. And we need to do a show on this. Oh, we'll put that on that week then. And before you know it, we've got a 52-week agenda again. Right, okay, so we're not confirming nor denying that we will go fortnightly next year. It all depends on the content and the demands from everybody. What will change if we go fortnightly is you will get a lot more content from us. So you will get a weekly show, and then throughout the following week, you will get more promotion for the following week's show, so you got prepared for what it's going to be. But then we'll also be able to get you more materials and more support and more resources about the week's previous show as well. Because we do want to amp up our resources for you next year. They've sort of dwindled this year. Mark and I have been incredibly busy. We do this in our own time, but we do want to be able to dedicate more time to providing you those resources based on the shows that we're having. And especially if we're going to go back to basics next year, there will be more resources that we will be offering out there, whether it be templates, whether it be guidance. There will be more resources coming. So yeah, bear with us whilst we get 2026 planned out. Should we talk flu? Do we need to talk flu?
Old flu, yeah, because I sent you a screenshot earlier, didn't I? And I'm going to have to open it because I don't have it in front of me. Yeah, it's obviously doing the rounds, and there's a lot of kind of talk on manager groups, and I thought, oh, let's just talk about it tonight. So a lot of managers wondering whether they should implement masks again, whether they should bring out COVID control measures like they had, whether they should have Christmas decorations up, whether they should be removing them, what they should be doing. So yeah, I guess there was one that I just quickly screen grabbed, sent to Adam earlier in terms of let's just have this conversation. I think there are a number of providers that are recommending to each other that they're advising their staff to wear them. I had a look on the couple of the local authority websites that I work with. They have got the decorational guidance that was out during COVID back. They are advising around masks. I don't know. I do feel like there is a number of our staff that it's more the kids at the moment rather than the adults, but I'm assuming that as everything, it'll go from the kids to the adults. Hopefully not over Christmas. I hope nobody's really unwell over Christmas, but I think we're going to get into January and all the mixing around of everybody will all come back into work in the new year and it'll all just suddenly hit. But yeah, definitely one to think about in terms of PPE, whether you've got enough PPE, what kind of control measures, your IPC and bits and pieces. Adam, any thoughts?
I think it's just about using common sense, isn't it? Like, what we can't have is a return to that draconian lifestyle we had during COVID. I flat refuse. Masks have never left social care. And masks are not a bad thing. Yes, there's been rhetoric within society since the pandemic. Yes, there's the whole masks, no masks parts of society. Fine, whatever. For me, it's common sense. If you're going into work and you don't have flu and you don't have COVID, but you've got a cold and you're going to sneeze every now and then, put a mask on. Makes sense. If you're providing care to someone who is coughing and sneezing, who doesn't have flu or COVID, put a mask on. If they do have flu or COVID, put a mask on. Put a face shield on if you want to be super safe. For me, it's just really now just about common sense and knowing our own services. One thing I will put my foot down on, though, is banning visitors. Now, Regulation 9A, definitely there for visitors now in nursing homes. There is guidance out there that visiting shouldn't be restricted. People should have access. It should be safe. It should be clever. That for us is making sure our processes are airtight internally, making sure that you're on it with your PPE stations, you're on it with your hand sanitizing stations, you're on it with waste management and routes around the home and isolation of people who may have infectious viruses or anything like that. It's just about using common sense. But masks, no masks, what do you think would be safer? And just ask yourself that question. Would it be safer for all my team working without a mask on if someone's got a cold? Yeah. Okay. I'll make sure they wear a mask. Common sense is a flower that doesn't grow in everyone's garden. That is true, Trish. That is true. I think for Christmas, Santa might bring some common sense to people and pop it under the tree, maybe. Just to direct everyone, there is the ARI guidance out there. There is also the PPE requirements when caring in adult social care. I will copy the link and pop that into the chat as well. That's got a handy, nifty little table in there which explains what PPE to use, when to use it, how often to use it, whether it's single use, whether it's multi-use, etc. So again, use that guidance. I think it's just about reassuring your team. You can mandate it if you want to mandate it. I think you just need to make that decision. Don't leave it open-ended, because then if some people go, well, I'm not going to wear a mask, and infections start to spread, it's a bit of an issue, isn't it? It's a difficult one. Discuss it with your team, discuss it with your residents, the people who use your services, their relatives. Just use your common sense. Is it going to be safer if we wear additional PPE during this moment of time? Yes. If no one's got an infection and no one's cold and no one's snotty, then fine, don't wear masks. Make sure that, I mean, we've always got masks at our reception desk for people who come in case they want to wear them. So they're always there and they're available for people. They're not mandated at all times, but during an outbreak, definitely, I think you should. I think, if anything, you don't want to be without team members. We don't want to be using agency and be on our arse during I don't want to use the P word, during an outbreak in a nursing home. So, yeah, just use your common sense. Is that flippant of me, Mark? Is that arrogant? I don't know.
No, I think the only thing is that when I was listening to you there, I think it is common sense, but I think that you can bet your bottom dollar that you'll then tell your team to use their common sense, and then, like you say, it kind of goes out the window. So I do think you have to put some kind of boundary in place. The only thing I think that I was in the hospital Monday and I was watching, which really surprised me in terms of, because the NHS are obviously always using the PPE and masks. It's just like they were like taking it off, like, in their hand, they're doing whatever, and then put it back. It's just around like the single use, and I just remember the emphasis during COVID of the second you touched it, it had to go in the bin and get a new one, and that was just out the window. Like they were literally like taking it off, talking to one another, putting it back on. One of them had it on around the wrong way, and yeah, I was just like, I don't know how we've gone through the whole pandemic, and now I'm watching a nurse with a upside down mask on, but it was all very.
We do wonder why the hospitals are overrun with.
The only thing I did notice, though, when I was in hospital, which really did surprise me, and I did take a photo of it, was there were so many decorations, which really did surprise me. They were hanging from the ceiling. There was like trees everywhere, which I loved, and I thought it was really good. But yeah, it did really surprise me that there were so many decorations up and around.
Oh, that's what you said, isn't it? Should we have? Oh yeah, have Christmas decorations. I mean, are you going to take all your picture frames down? Are you going to take your curtains off the hooks? Have Christmas decorations. Is what it is. Just clean them. I get that they can harbour bacteria, but let's think of clever ways of cleaning them. Let's have a think of how we can make them still fabulous. No, definitely don't get rid of Christmas decorations at all, or Diwali, or Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa, or whatever celebrations you're having. Make sure those decorations are up. Please just make sure that you're using the same logic for all public holidays and not just Christmas and going, no, we're having our Christmas decorations, but no other decorations. Let's not do that. Let's be fair and let's be diverse and what have you. Yeah, no, it doesn't surprise me that. I think poor PPE use is something that is too common in health and social care. I'm a huge believer in the gloves off campaign. The number of times I see people walking around corridor wearing gloves. I've seen it in the hospital, people walking around wearing gloves. You and I, Mark, are frequenting hospitals recently, and I see really poor PPE practice whilst I'm in hospitals. And it is worrying, especially when, for like myself, I'm going in for surgery soon. And I'm like, okay, that's a breach, and don't you be touching me with those hands until you've washed them. It is really concerning. But I think just be on it with your team. Make sure that PPE use is on your daily walkarounds that you're doing around your home. Make sure that you're making checks on your PPE stations, that your cleaning teams are making sure that your hand sanitizers are up to date, your hand washers are stocked up, paper towels are in place, bins are being changed regularly, touch points are being done. You've got PPE available for people coming into the home. You've got your isolation procedures all set up. And if we all just remember that it's not just going to be November, December, like we're in this, it's January, February, March as well. And it's going to be a long haul, this one. And the flu that's going around at the minute is nasty. Like it's taking people weeks to get over that. I know who have got it, like literal weeks. So it's just about making sure people are safe and yeah, just using your common sense. Don't get rid of decorations. Cut them down a little bit if you want to, but I mean, come on. We've got to have some joy in life, haven't we?
That we have. You are definitely right. It will be a January thing. I think I'm just looking at like the calendar. Kids will break up anytime this week, Thursday, Friday. Won't be back until the new year now. So yeah, it'll be once they're back after that mix in. So yeah, I think enjoy Christmas and then we can let the fun begin after.
I mean, I've known some schools from people that have got children, like only 9 people in a class, because it's literally ripping through schools at the moment. Because I think kids were late for their flu vaccines this year, or didn't get them in time. And I know it's a mutated strain, and I think things are getting worse. So yeah, just look after yourselves out there and use that common sense. Do some online shopping. I mean, it's really odd, isn't it? Because we had this pandemic which shut the world down. Like, it was someone just pressed that pause button and everything stopped, and everyone became such sort of germaphobes for 8-12 months maybe. Then it started to wane. Like, I literally walk around Morrison's now and people are pushing trolleys and I'm literally walking behind them. I'm going, have we just forgotten what's happened in this world right now? Is it so hard to go picking up fruit and veg, wearing gloves that they're not changing at all throughout their entire shop? I don't want that one. Like, gross. I mean, do your online shopping. Wash everything as soon as it comes through the door. I mean, I'm not saying go anal, but it's so gross how people walk around just coughing and spluttering everywhere. Catch it. What is it? Catch it, bin it, kill it. That's the sort of mantra they have, isn't it? I've always got pocket tissues with me. I've always got a sleeve which I'm going into, and then I wash my clothes. It's just courtesy, isn't it? I mean, I
just think it's society as a whole, isn't it? It's just the downfall.
Absolute rotters. And I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know. I don't understand it. I mean, I get all my meat from a butcher's now anyway, so I'm okay on that regard. But for like your fruit and veg, just wash it just to be extra safe. Well, I think we have to. We just got to be wiser. Things are going to get worse over the sort of coming decades. Antibiotics resistance is going to get worse. Resistance to flu vaccinations is only going to get worse. So I think we just need to sort of be a little bit sensible moving forwards and learn from what happened during that pandemic. And sort of guide and advise your team as well. Just make sure that they're making safe and wise choices. And yeah, that's all I can say on the flu. It's doing my head in already. I will say I got it. And usually it lingers with me. I got it. And I was like, not having this. I became really ill on the Friday. And I thought, oh, I've got flu. I couldn't move. I was sweating. I was shaking. Saturday, I stayed in bed all day. Couldn't do a thing. Felt like my lungs were collapsed. It was horrendous. And I was thinking to myself, I am not being ill. I am not. But Stephen said, you look like death warmed up, Adam. I said, I am not being ill. And I woke up Sunday, fabulous. Completely healed. It was miraculous. It was like I was touched by an angel during the night. Like, it was incredible. Stephen then got ill. 3 weeks it took him to get over. I was like, oh, like immunity. It's fabulous. But no, it's really wide out there. I just wanted to gloat that I had it for a day and I'm like super fine.
Yeah. We have had some of our staff off with it. And yeah, when they come back to work, they say it's like nothing else. But some of them have said it's worse than like when they had COVID. But
proper rancid what's going around. Okay. 2026, Mark. I know we did resolutions last week. What are you wanting to achieve next year personally? What do you want by this time next year to go, I'm glad I've done it. I've done what I said I'm going to
do. I knew this was coming and I haven't put any thought into it at all. I don't actually know. Like, probably good health. Like, I do feel like this year has been like a shitter for health for me. So I think as long as I'm still alive next year, like, I'll be winning. I'm not gonna lie. There's been many a time that this year I don't know whether I'm gonna make it or not. But yeah. So
you good. Make me laugh, honestly. I'm gonna share it, and you can kill me afterwards if you want. But some of the texts I get from you, you're like, if I die, I die, Adam. It's just what it is. So, you know, I just might be dead tomorrow. And case there are, Sarah. And I'm like, Okay, nice knowing you, mate. And like, okay.
I know, when they were like, oh, I don't know whether your heart's got a problem. Well, it is what it is. Like, don't resuscitate me. Just leave me. I'm on a right battle at the moment with my GP surgery about DNRs. That I'm not having any of it. But I'm like, I am 37 with capacity. Can we just have this conversation? If not, it's quite nice.
I envision good health for you next year. I envision that people are finally going to figure out what's going on and get you on the right track to good health. And I hope that with all my wishes, that's what will come to you. In fact, I will give you my Santa wish. My Santa wish is that you get good health next year.
Thank you very much. What are your wishes for 2026?
I don't know. I discussed this last week, didn't I? I've lost the weight. I've given up the alcohol. I've given up the social media. He doesn't know, but we're going on holidays. He doesn't watch the show, so it's fine. I can see it. Hopefully, he doesn't watch the show.
He's live streaming it.
Yeah, he's live streaming it at the moment. I have a good job. I'm practically happy in the work that I'm doing. I have a nice house. I have a lovely partner. I'm incredibly blessed. You know, Steve and I sit there when we have our dinners, because when we do eat together, which is 3-4 times a week, because he works a lot of evenings, we always eat at the dining table together. Because it's just what I like. I like a proper dinner, and I like, even if it's just toast or something, we like to sit at the dining table. And we don't say grace or anything like that, but we do recognize how incredibly lucky we are every single time that we get to have dinner together. And we are incredibly blessed, and we've worked for it. And, you know, Mark, you've been on this journey with me. You know, 2.5 years, nearly 3 years ago, I was almost homeless. You know, it's been a journey this last 3 years. But we are blessed, and I don't want to sit here and wish for more riches next year or more wonders or anything like that. I think what I want from next year is to continue on this journey of happiness that I'm sort of finding myself on. I mean, I was just flicking through the videos of our shows from this year, and I was like, a different hairstyle almost every single month on these, and I was like, this is the new me. Yeah, it's a bit of vanity. I get that. But actually being able to express myself in who I am and in what I do, and, you know, my fashion, my personal style, my likes and interests have changed. And it's been a wonderful journey to be on. And I want to do more of that. I think I want to give more of my time back next year, though, to other people. And I think I want to do more for other people because I am in a really blessed position. I have been very lucky to be able to pay for a couple of people's shopping so far this year when I've been in the supermarket or I've been in Home Bargains to help them out. There was a lady the other day when I was coming out of Home Bargains who was panicking because her taxi had arrived and she couldn't get all of her shopping into her bags, and the shop assistant wouldn't help her. And I'm like, oh my God, what on earth? Like, of course I'll pack your bags for you. Then it was like, can you take them to the taxi? It's like, yeah, of course I can. She's like, I can't get in. Can you lift me in? It's like, yeah, of course I can. Why not? And, you know, I'm like literally piggybacking this woman into a taxi. But it took 20 minutes of my time, which wasn't a loss to me. I wasn't in a rush. And I think I want to do more of that next year, not to make myself feel better because that's ego, but actually because people need it. And I do want to sort of give more of my time back next year and stop thinking less about me and more about others. And I think I just want to sort of bring that back to society, that sort of selfless, do for your neighbor side of things. And, you know, I'm really lucky. We've just got some new neighbors moved in, and they are absolutely fabulous. We've always been blessed with good neighbors. They're like really good. Again, they all watch the show, so she won't know what I'm saying. But my two new neighbors are absolutely fabulous. And, you know, we bring the bins in for each other. We'll help each other out. We'll collect each other's parcels. And it's been a while since we've had neighbors that we can do that with till we moved here. The previous neighbors, they were exactly the same. They were fabulous. But I want to do that more wider now for society. I just want to be able to give back more. Stephen and I, to the point actually where next year for Christmas, we think my family have all got other plans, which is sad for us because we just like everyone to be together. And it's a little bit selfish to say, no, always include us, because it is what it is. We don't have kids. We're lonely. Include us. And I get that. It could be like, oh, God, they're the gay ones that have no kids and they need to be included in every party. And we don't want them coming because they'll out-fashion us and out-style us and out-fun us. I get why they don't want us there. But we actually have discussed that if come next Christmas, all of our family have plans elsewhere, we're going to give up our Christmas day and cook for the community. And I think that is something that I would relish. I'd really, really enjoy doing, because Christmas is about bringing and giving. It's forgiving, it's forgetting, it's forgiving and forgetting, like Cliff Richard sings. And if I could do more like that next year, then I very much want to be able to do that and get a six-pack.
Two polar opposite things.
I'm going to do yoga. I've decided I'm going to do yoga and Pilates next year, I think. But my time is going to be given back a lot more next year.
Well, I will not be doing any exercise next year, so that is strictly off my list of things. I might do some walks. I do like a walk, but I'll be waiting until the late part of spring, entering into the summer, and then I'll get back up again in the autumn, as I always do.
Yeah, you're a generally active person anyway, so yeah. Oh, also my health. I want my health to improve. I think my health will improve once I've had my surgery and everything's okay there. I think I should be on the up. Fingers crossed, moving forwards. But I want good health for both of us next year, and good health for everyone.
Yes, if you don't have health, you haven't got anything, is what they keep telling me.
Yeah, I've got a DNA CPR, so I might not have health, but I've got a DNA CPR. I've got everything.
They tell me that. They tell me that, and then they're like, "Oh, but the 24-hour ECG, the waiting list is 6 months, and neurology is 14 months." And I'm like, "Well, I don't have anything. I haven't got the health."
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, I do hope for the sector that things do get better. I do hope that these waiting lists in hospitals do get better. I mean, my urology appointment, I think I'm still, my NHS app still says I'm on a waiting list, and it could be 18 to God knows how many weeks. And that, I mean, that was what, beginning of September, and I'm still on that waiting list now. I only got my appointment through a lot sooner because I went into my surgery and I was like, this is not happening. I am in too much pain. I'm at a risk of torsion. This is sort of life-threatening stuff. If it's not treated and dealt with, get me seen, please. And I got seen. I saw my urologist. He was like, oh my Christ, why have we not done anything about this? You're on an emergency waiting list for surgery. I'm like, there we go. It's so simple. Can we like triage things properly, please, and make sure that people's health needs are met effectively? So I do hope for the wider sector that access to health and access to care gets better. Which I'm sure.
Part of me does wonder whether it will, because I think there's going to be a huge emphasis, isn't there, next year on that community and people being at home in their own homes as opposed to, in care homes and bits and pieces. And I think naturally, whether you think it's a conspiracy or you don't think it's a conspiracy, I think government have their local neighborhoods and the whole kind of, 3-minute, 5-minute communities that some of them have signed up to. So I think over the next year, I think we will start seeing some of that community naturally feed in. But I think we all play a part in terms of supporting neighbours. What can we do? Even if it's just a lift to the end of the road or to the doctor's surgery, or if you're like me and you don't drive at the moment, you could walk alongside them and just have a gentle conversation with them, because actually a lot of them are lonely. I think I really notice it where I am, because I'm in the village, and I would say 90% of them are old, retired, and even just mowing their front garden makes such a difference. And it takes 2 minutes. I mean, they're not straight lines, but they've got to mow grass. What more do they need?
Exactly. It is. It's those little things, and I think we could all just do that little bit more next year. Even if you think, well, actually, I do enough already, do a little bit more. Do a little bit. That's our challenge. Do a little bit more. I think everyone could just do a little bit more. And this is us for social care. We give what we can to you all in social care. We don't want thanks. We don't want congratulations. We don't want recognition for this. We just want to be able to support you. I think the way I look at it is, if I was down on my luck and I was really struggling, would I want someone to be able to help me? And the answer would be yes. And if I would expect someone to be able to help me, then I should be able to help others as well. And I think it is. I think it's a proper Christmassy sort of thought to have, isn't it? Is that want to do better and to do selflessly. So here's to 2026. What are you doing New Year's, Mark?
What am I doing? I haven't really got any plans for New Year's. I'm not since I've had kids, a massive New Year's. I would have gone out all night into the early hours and done the countdown and then Yeah, kids ruin that. You can't take them really with you. Well, you could take them with you. I don't take them with me. They'll be in bed, so I'll probably be in bed as well. So I'll be boring and sleeping.
Very I can that.
What are you doing?
New Year, probably nothing. We don't really do much New Year, Hogmanay and all that jazz. We usually watch a bit of Jules Holland. We probably won't do much. I mean, we're not drinkers anyway, so we don't drink. So I won't be going out partying, and it's always incredibly expensive and overrated and very full everywhere. So I don't really enjoy that. But we usually have our mates round and put a movie on and watch a bit of Jules Holland, watch the fireworks come in, go straight to bed because we're shattered. So yeah, won't be doing much. Mark, I know actually there is one thing we have not discussed before we go into the new year, which is devastating me right now. Because it might change the course of 2026. It might be an irrevocable thing that happens.
What's that?
Eurovision.
Oh, Eurovision. I know. I have seen lots of countries pulling out.
I mean, honestly, we may not have Eurovision 2026. This is diabolical. This is...
It's all right, because we've got Simon Cowell's new boy band that he's put together, so they'll just have to plug that gap.
Plugging a dead horse there. Isn't that the 15th show Simon Cowell's done on trying to find someone else's life to ruin? Because that's all good for people, isn't it? Ruin their lives. I think, I mean, we were discussing this, my partner and I, and I'm not going to get political about it. Think what you think. I mean, I think what's happening is diabolical, and I think Israel should not be in the Eurovision Song Contest. And that's just my thoughts. I think it's nothing short of genocide, and I think we should all just learn to live and love each other. And Anushka Farooq says, you guys should enter. I'd love to be the UK entry. I think it would be fabulous.
I'd need a bit of auto-tune.
It couldn't be worse than Jedward.
I like Jedward's entry. Bit of Scooch, flying the flag. But for you and me, though, Eurovision, those like cheesy pop songs is what it's all about.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think it needs to go back to those roots. Yeah, I just think it's shocking. But again, I don't want to get it political, but then how can we have this stuff, these atrocities going off in the world and no one really care? And no one really do? I don't understand it. I struggle. I really, really struggle with this idea that everyone's supposed to have these political opinions, and even if they do, nothing gets done anyway. I mean, look at Rob Reiner, tragically killed by his son, his wife and him, both killed by his son. And Donald Trump thinks it's completely acceptable to sort of besmirch him and just basically call him out. He was an atrocious person. He was a diabolical person anyway. There's no loss. And don't get me wrong, it is atrocious, and I don't think anyone should have said that. But then the people that are kicking off about what Donald Trump said about Rob Reiner are also the ones that were glorifying the death of Mr. Kirk. And I just think, pot kettle black, where's the love gone in society? Give back more, do more, be better. I think we should all just... What did we watch? Oh, Knives Out. Knives Out 3, Wake Up Dead Man on Netflix. If you watch the Knives Out movies and you've not watched the new one yet, it's brilliant. About priests. But it was about how we save the world. We save the world by doing this, not by doing this. And I think we all just need to hug a little more this coming year. And metaphorically, don't go up to Mark and hug him. He's not a hugger. He won't appreciate that. I'm a hugger. I like a hug. As long as you're not coughing on me. I'll wear a mask. Right, Mark. Oh, I feel sad. I don't want the show to end.
I know, it feels weird. It doesn't feel like the end of the year. But yeah, it is. But we will have to make plans in terms of next year. Somebody Trish sent through some ideas, so I've logged them. But yeah, we will be back. And you're obviously on holiday in the new year, so we won't be back until probably...
Oh, no, he doesn't watch. It's fine. He doesn't watch. We're not going to be back till mid-January anyway. That's the soonest we will be back next year. But that's not to say you can't catch up on some of our shows, get in touch with us, help us plan for the new year and what we want to go through. I envision probably around 30 shows next year, potentially. Give or take a few weeks where we're not doing every other week. It might be more. Probably won't be less, knowing us. But
the
yeah,
thing is, like we said earlier, the CQC are going to make changes. We'll be doing shows on them. So even if it is every other week, I'm sure it won't be every other week. So yeah. We'll be here still.
Well, this is the Caring View the online health and social care platform, signing off for 2025. We wish you all a very, very prosperous new year and some happy holiday time, whatever the celebrations are that you have, that you celebrate. Even if you don't celebrate anything, just enjoy family at this time of the year. Move into next year with hope, with love, with joy, and please try and do a bit more next year. And if you need more support next year, do not be afraid to ask. There are people out there who will be happy to support. We will happily support anybody in anything that they need. But carry on this self-investment that we've had in 2025. Look after yourselves, look after your team, look after your family, look after everybody else that you might not even know. But do enjoy it. Stay safe, keep warm. Wear a mask if you want to wear a mask. It's up to you. You know, it is what it is. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. We'll see you next year. I don't want it to end.
See you next year. Have a good Christmas. Have a good Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
I had to get that in there.
Yeah.